Hello and welcome to Newsworthy Stories with Jacqueline Jimenez. Many of us have aging parents like myself who, whenever they have a technology issue, you are the first person they're going to call. Well, I have to tell you, we have an unsung hero in our midst, and his name is Torrence Mack. And Torrence Mack does something that, all of us wish we could do, and that is teach our loving and aging family members technology over the phone. But you know what? He goes way further than that, and he does it in person. So, Torrence, tell us more about you and what are you doing?
Good morning, everyone. It's a privilege to be here. So what I developed is a program that specializes in teaching seniors how to use technology more effectively. I know a lot of the loved ones, they're always on the phone receiving texts and calls on how to do these type of things. So we decided to change it a little bit differently, and we actually go to them. We go to their senior communities. Also go to senior medical centers, as well as senior centers to hold classes. Some classes have as little as 5 people, and some have as much as 100 people in it. So it varies in sizes, basically in the need and the demographic, as well as what part of the country that we're in. Our unique issue as well is we have healthcare advantage or medical advantage companies that sponsor our events. So you have your Humanas, your WellCares, the Devoted. They sponsor the events, which will allow us to provide these services to the senior community for free. So it's a win-win for everyone. We also do private sessions. If they want it at their home or they want something a little bit more private, we also come to them, and the cost for that is pretty nominal. But we really do enjoy working with the community. We started it about 5 years ago in Palm Beach County. Now I'm in 35 counties and in 4 states. So we've expanded quite a bit within 5 years.
Wow, because I think I'm not even sure. Were you in all those states when I first met you?
No, I
Because
was not.
I was like, "What happened? What do you mean 4 states?" Because when I first met you, I think you were just doing Florida.
Yes, that is correct.
Now, talk about the insane schedule that you and your team have. You guys are, everywhere on a weekly basis. Can you talk about some of the places that you are on a regular basis so that people can reach out to you? Torrance's information is scrolling across the bottom, so make sure you write that down while we're speaking, and then you'll have it so you can reach out to him as soon as possible. And of course, his phone number is there in case you're not technology, savvy, which is the whole point.
Oh yeah, so I started everything in Palm Beach County, so we have a huge following in Palm Beach County. But I am from Miami, Florida, so I have quite a footprint in South Florida, Dayton, Broward as well. One of my favorite locations would be the Miami Gardens Senior and Family Center, where we have 3 classes a week there, and they're all free. On Wednesday, we have a smartphone and tech class, which just talks about all the different smartphone and iPad issues that they may have. Usually that has about 50 to 75 people each week. And it's every Wednesday from 2 to 3 o'clock. And on Friday at the same facility, we have 2 computer classes because they have a lab there. So we have 2 sets of classes on Fridays. Now, unfortunately, the ones on Friday, you have to reserve a spot for, because as you can imagine, it is totally booked. It's probably booked for like the last 3 or 4 months, next 3 or 4 months. But we are also there, and we're also in Broward County. We deal a lot with Chin Medical Center. I'm sure a lot of you have heard of Chin. We do a lot in their actual centers, as well as when they go out in the community for their outreach specialists. We also go wherever they want us to go as well. Another popular place would be the city of Hollandale Beach. They have the O.B. Johnson Park. We're there every Monday from 11:15 to 12:45, and the general public can come to that as well. And a lot of it is, most of everything that you have is on my website, the tdmtechpc.com. I try to keep an up-to-date weekly schedule to let us know where we are, and also what is available and open to the public.
Now, do you primarily work with the phones and iPads, or do you do computers as well?
We do everything, but we try to put a real big purpose on the smartphones and the tablets, because that's where a lot of the seniors have the issues. And by the way, I don't call them seniors, I call them
Oh,
seasoned
see,
individuals. They're very seasoned. Yes. So the smartphones are the thing that gives them the biggest issue, because obviously those devices are much smaller. It's a lot harder to type. It's harder to go into all these apps, downloading apps and pressing all these little buttons. So it gives them a really hard time doing that. So that is the one that starts everything. So once you master the phone, of course, we have the iPads and the tablets as well. And then we cover iPhone as well as Android devices. So we cover both. Then we get to the computer last. But we start everything with the smartphone because that's the thing that gives everyone the biggest fit. And we also deal with online safety, which is another big issue because a lot of
Mm,
us getting these scam calls, scam texts, as well as scam emails. So we focus on our online safety. So we have about 20 different curriculums that we cover in our classes. So we can, we would send whatever location that we're going to, we'll send them like a flyer of all our most requested classes, and they can pick whichever one they want. Basic functions of the smartphone 101, using social media to stay connected, which is another big thing because a lot of the
yeah.
seasoned community are scared to get on social media. So we teach them about privacy settings, how to set it up properly, how to send photos, download photos, save photos. We do screenshotting. We also cover the
Yeah.
cloud, which is another big concept for a lot of them. We
And
also
that really helps with their isolation, getting them on social media because so many of them are isolated.
that is
Sometimes they live in, I know we're in here in South Florida, but sometimes, I mean, the reason they come here is they're retiring, but often their families are still up north. And so that making that connection possible for them is vital for their quality of life.
most definitely. And I can't tell you how many houses I go to on home visits that their kids actually have cameras in their homes just to actually watch their parents and what they're doing. And so when I go do private lessons, they say, "Could you put a towel over that camera?" And so I'll put a towel over it so they wouldn't see what's going on. But it's
That's
so much
great.
fun. One of my favorite jokes with them with the phones, I ask them how many of them take phones with the pictures with the cameras. All of them raise their hand. I say, "Well, how many of you take pictures of your feet?" So they don't realize that you have to switch the camera selector around. It's just so amazing. Just the whole concept. It's so much fun. It's never a dull moment. All of my staff love it. Actually, at the moment, I have 8 different trainers.
Hmm.
We teach the classes in English, Spanish, and French or Creole for the Haitian community, so we can cover just about any demographic, and it's just so much fun growing. It's a lot of fun.
Well, when we first started talking about this and really the telehealth, which is one of the great reasons why, you have these medical facilities sponsoring you, is because they want their clients to be able to log on. Same thing with banking. I don't know if you connected with the banking industry, but what other industries would you want to connect with to say, hey, let me train the seniors in, that you're serving how to use you know, the services they offer.
Yeah, that's so interesting because, like, for example, Chin Medical Center, they have another company under their umbrella called Intune Health. And they actually have an app that's developed for more of the functioning seniors. So I have a contract with them and I just teach their seniors how to use the app. That's for example. I've done work with Cano Health. They've had their own apps that we've done training with their seniors as well. So a lot of them want to tie that in. Another company that we really want to get to, I've reached out to the banking industry quite a few times. That's still on hold and pending. But another one is the cellular phone industry. Because what happens at these phone companies, the seniors go there, they get a phone, they do not know what they're doing with the phone, and then every week they're back to the cell phone company. And the cell phone company is telling them, "Oh, we're not in the business to help you. We're just in the business to serve you, just to give you service." So that I think would be a great partnership if they could sponsor some of our events because they can get more prospective customers as well as let them know that there's someone around that can actually help them with their devices.
I would even say the insurance companies,
Yes.
because they really go hand in hand with that medical. Just thinking, of all the needs that our seasoned veterans, or whatever you want to call them, our
Yes.
seasoned, loving family members need. Um, but I am a little jealous, what about us, the baby boomers who are just in the same boat? We might not be as seasoned, but we are still struggling just like them. I'm saying to myself, I have to go get a new phone, and I am just the idea of getting a new phone and having to learn something new all over again. Same thing every time I get a computer. So you have any help out there for
Yeah, we do. So we do consulting services for everyone, but the actual teaching was developed primarily for the seasoned community. But we do not turn business away. So if you're wondering what kind of phone to get, we'll do a consultation with you to try to find out what phone is best for you. And once you get it, we can actually set it up, because a lot of the setup process has a lot to do with your previous phone, your Apple ID and your Google account from the previous device. We'll actually put that in the new device, and it would transfer everything over if you were doing your cloud backup properly. I also get calls from time to time for people with the computer issues. Their computer's not working anymore. They need to upgrade. This is happening. And so we also have a remote tech support mechanism where we can connect to you remotely. I have customers in California, Texas, and Ohio. So they have problems. So I just connect to their system, fix it for them. And there's a lot of ways to do things from distance. Technology has made things a lot better, and the pandemic was a big lesson and a big teacher for a lot of us, because prior to the pandemic, we were rolling, we were doing very good, and then with the pandemic, it's like somebody pulled a rug from under us, and we lost so many events. But I was able to get an online Zoom presence. I was able to teach the seniors how to get on Zoom. And then when that happened, we started getting a big following on Zoom. And then when everything started opening back up, the waterfall just kept flowing. So it's just, you just don't understand. It's just so fun. And I get
Well,
a
I've
lot
seen
of,
some of the videos. I've seen some of the happy people, getting the help that they need, and really it's empowering, also. It gives them some independence. I just need to hook you up with, my family, and in the Central Florida area, so I can get them in there into your classes. It's just helps you so much on an independent level. Um, so tell me a little bit more about why you started this particular business.
oh, wow. That is a very interesting question. So I've been in IT for about 25 years. My dad is self-employed entrepreneur himself. So that was already entrenched in me. So I had a little contract with the federal government in Maryland. I had a little short government contract. I can't really tell you all that I did. Those are kind of secrets of what I did. But when I came back to Palm Beach County, I really didn't know what I wanted to do. I know I wanted to be in the tech industry, and I was working on, I think, City of West Palm Beach City Hall, and it was as a computer tech or so. That's not really my thing. And I think one day I was in a Best Buy or something, and I saw a senior. She was having a real hard time with the phone. She was hitting the phone real hard, which a lot of them do when they're frustrated. I said, you know what, you can't do that. You have to be easy with the phone. What would you like to do? And she told me what she wanted to do. So I took her step by step by step. And she said, you know what? You need to do this. And then a light bulb went off in my head. So there was a virtual office, the new virtual office where you can just rent a chair or whatever. So I rented one of those, and I put an ad in the Palm Beach Post, looking for seniors that need help with devices. One lady called me, and this one lady called me. She owned 25 condos, and she became my first client. And I started teaching her one on one, and then she started telling her friends and more friends, and it just started developing and developing. And then someone told me that I need to reach out to senior communities, so I would just do a bunch of emails to senior communities. One community called me back. My first class I did, I had 100 people show up.
Wow.
The first class. And the thing
Wow.
about it is, though, I didn't know how to get paid for that because it was a free class, because I'm just trying to get my name out there. And then a lady pulled me to the side. You should contact Humana, WellCare, Devoted. They will love this because this will be great for their marketing piece, that they can get a group of seniors, and so they can pass their word out to them as well. And so that's just how it started. I would get one community, the next community, and just started blowing up. And before you know it, and then I had one big company that needed my help at 25 locations, and they told me they needed it in 2 weeks. So I had to hire like 12 people in 2 weeks. And then it just kept going from there, and it just kept growing. And relationships are everything, though, because once you establish a relationship with these insurance companies, with these agents, they pass the word to other people, and it just spreads out. Dade County, Broward County, Palm Beach, Central Florida, the Villages, Florida, Tallahassee, Pensacola, Alabama now, North Carolina, Ohio, Texas is knocking on my door, Louisiana's knocking on the door, Virginia's knocking on the door. I've even had calls from Colorado.
I
So
love it.
it's just
I love it. And this has happened quick,
yes,
because I've only known you for a year. So these companies, that word is getting out around the country. I
yes.
love it. I do.
And
It's just so needed. It just makes sense. And some of the simplest business ideas just make sense.
yes,
You're solving a problem. We teach that all day long. You're solving a problem, and it is so needed. And the fact that people can call you, that you can actually offer that personal tech help as well.
yes.
I didn't realize you could do that. So, you might hear from me. But although and this is my joke in the house, because my husband is an IT director, but you don't get that IT help at home. You
No,
know,
it's a different. It's a different thing.
there's a cutoff somewhere when they come home. That's like done. So yeah, my mom can get help, but I can't. So
Yes, understood.
yeah, yeah. So, but you know what, Torrance? I know, what is the best way to reach you? How do you want people to reach out to you? Or
Well,
what do
my
you want them
phone
to
number.
go to your website and
Yeah,
find?
well, you can go to the website to see the classes in your area because, like I said, we're all over the state, and we're also in other, all over Florida, and we're also in other states. So pay attention to the schedule on our calendar. I try to keep it updated a week at a time. Or you can actually call me at that number, which is my direct number. I'm not sure if I should have did that, but that's okay because my seniors call me 3, 4 o'clock in the morning anyway when they figure out what they learned from the day prior. So it's okay. Or my email address, to tmac at tdmtechpc.com. And what I also tell seniors in their communities, if they need help, go to your activities director and let them know about me, and then we could set up a class, and it could be a whole class for free in your community.
That sounds great. Torrance, I really love what you're doing. So glad we finally got a chance to do this, so we can share it, get that word out there about what you're doing. I love to interview difference makers, and you are definitely making a difference. So we appreciate what you're doing.
Well, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it.
My pleasure. My
Okay.
pleasure.